Yo,
What's
yo,
good?
yo, what's
What's good?
good?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Yes, it's a football
How's
Friday.
everybody doing?
Um,
How's everybody
we're
doing?
doing
It's
great.
Football
We're
Friday.
not doing great. Before we get into all of the nonsense,
That process
um,
takes place after it's approved.
I'm
Because
gonna get into
they'll send me a document, and the
my
document
bullshit. This is gonna be my old man get off the lawn shit. This is what this is gonna be.
Mel has a
Um,
little scheduled tirade that he's about to go on, so we're
schedule.
just gonna
Yeah,
go ahead
yeah,
and
yeah,
mute
yeah,
up and
yeah.
let him do his thing real quick.
So here we go. You know how you know the motto here. We embrace the debate. That's what we live on. We will not tolerate disrespect, though. So, with that being said, if you're gonna come on, we encourage everyone come to the social media, talk your shit, have fun with it. That's why we're here to have fun with it. But I will let some of y'all know, all of y'all. Well, not say some of y'all, because it's not everybody. Everybody, we have a good time in the comments. Um, when the disrespect comes, prepare for the disrespect to be returned. So if you're not willing to say whatever it is that you're saying in the comments to my face, keep it to yourself. Because I am 1,100, 1,000,000% with the shits. Okay? All the time, every time. So, that being said, we can get on with the show. I mean, like I said, it is what it is. Unless, Moolage, you want to add something, GQ, unless you want to add something.
Hey, we
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 good.
we we about all the smoke here. I don't understand because I know a lot of people they like to get as he said, bold behind a Zoom call, right? Because everybody's behind the screen on technology, and it's the funny thing about technology is they give people an unwarranted confidence, right?
Pretty much.
Understand something. We don't just talk sports. We play sports as well, meaning we are
Right.
athletic, okay? Which means we do have stamina, okay? Just like Captain America said, I can do this all day.
All day. Oh, pretty much. I can really do this all day.
So, well, with that being
All right.
said, we can move forward. Mr. GQ,
Yeah.
how you doing
That's
today,
it.
big dog?
How you doing?
What's going on, y'all? It's another day. It's Friday, football Friday,
There you go.
Yeah.
and
And then,
we we,
okay.
we, we stay we stay with the smoke. For those who for some reason don't understand that concept.
Right. And then also I want to add on to this. This I embrace the old head talk. I'm 100% with. I'm cool with it. But I just want people to understand something. When we're talking what we're talking, and I mention someone that you may not know everything about, is cool. Ask questions. I will give you answers.
Go do your homework.
So this goes to and this comes back to a lot of the feedback comes back from Darrell Revis and Calvin Johnson. A lot of it. Okay. So I embrace the old head shit. That's cool. And I said this before. But when I tell you you have to take statistical information as well as what you saw in real time happen, you have to do it. Because in 15 to 20 years from now, you're gonna be an old head. And you are going to be defending your guys. 20 years from now, Darrell Revis statistically is not going to look like the Hall of Famer that he is. And what you're going to have to stand on is I watched him play. Because statistically, it's not going to look that good for your boy. Same thing with Calvin Johnson. So you're going to be in the same position where I'm standing when I'm telling you I watched Eric Allen play football. I know what that man did. See, the difference is statistically, he is that. And from the eye test, from me, he was that. You're going to have a real hard problem in 20 years with Darrell Revis trying to convince other people that he was that guy.
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's the fact that I can't shake that he is not as good statistically as Asante Samuel, bro. Like I cannot shake that, dog. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
let that go. Like I'm not gonna let that go. And the fact that nobody really talks about Asante, there's so many DBs that people gloss over that people don't really talk about because they bring up the Reeveses, they bring up all the, say all the greats, quote unquote, right? But I don't know. I feel like a lot of the times that '09 season gets overhyped a lot, right?
It
And
does. It
I
gets a
get
lot of
it,
hype.
but at the end of the day, bro, it's like, all right, what did you do the next year? What did you do the next year after that? What did you do next year after that? And I mean, don't get me wrong, bro. Like I'm not gonna take anything away from you, Reeves, but Stevie, you had guys like Stevie Johnson that had your number, dog. Couldn't do nothing
Consistently.
against him. Like you couldn't do nothing against Stevie, bro. That's crazy. So I mean, like, I just feel like a lot of people don't want to let that part of their force fandom go. Like they're stuck onto one of their guys. But I mean, like when you look at Revis, like Revis specifically, Revis and Megatron, right? Because I know that they made a big splash in a really, really short amount of time. So everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're never gonna see anything like. But I just feel like when you look at their careers in totality, bro, like there's some guys that people may look at and be like, yeah, no, I'm taking him over him. And then there's nothing you can say that's gonna convince me. Field
Right.
production,
And like I said,
career totality, just everything. Give me that guy over that guy.
and I said it before, like the crown jewel for Darrell Revis is that magical 2009, 2010 season. Da, da, da. And I said that's cool, but even in that season, he wasn't even the best defensive back in the league because Charles Woodson won Defensive Player of the Year that year. I'm sorry, he played the same exact position, and that guy had a better season.
And they won the
But
Super Bowl.
and did they win the Super Bowl that year?
No,
No, I think it
not,
was the
not
next year.
that year, the next year. But
They won the Super Bowl next year. Yeah.
because
Okay.
he was a big component in contributing to that.
Right. All right. So let's go. We're off my rant. Let's get on to the games last night. First game on the docket. We'll talk about GQ's Patriots and the Texans, and I'll give you my feedback from that game. So it was a good game. Patriots looked like the Patriots, like I thought they would look. Two guys I wanted to watch. Of course, Christian Gonzalez. I thought he another one was going to be probably the best DB. I thought he was the best DB in the draft. Um, he flashed, a couple tackles. Still look good to me. I want to see him against ones and stuff like that, but still waiting on him. DBs are hard to gauge in preseason because they're not really doing too much of the stuff that they're going to do in season. But still like the kid, still think he's going to be the best one out of the bunch. And Tyquan Thornton, I was waiting to see what Tyquan Thornton was going to look like coming off the injury and being the threat downfield that the Patriots need. Because he's the guy, he's a speed guy. And he didn't disappoint. Couple good catches last night. Looked good. Looked good. So those were my two guys that I want to focus on and see what they did. And let's go GQ. This is your team, so I want to see what you thought happened. You muted yourself.
Let me fix myself. All right.
There
So
you go.
what I saw last night, plain and simple, is exactly what I thought I would see. The young rookie that we just drafted, flashing a little bit, but give him till about midseason. Belichick will have him right. I'm not concerned about him.
Mhm.
He didn't. I mean, I know he didn't play a lot of snaps last night anyway, but it was still worth noting that he still looked good. He's still eventually going to be that guy that you're going to be like, all right, do I really want to test this guy? Because he does have very good ball hawking skills. He really does. He's got a nose for the football. So, like I said, halfway through the season, when he starts really going up against these type A alpha receivers, we're gonna really see what he looks like. On the flip side of that, CJ Stroud looked exactly how I figured he would look. Kind of
Oh, he was.
mid, but I only
Yeah.
say, and I'm not saying that as a slight to him. It's just that's rookie quarterbacks don't fare well against Bill Belichick. Don't matter if it's a regular season, the preseason, the any season. Rookie quarterbacks just don't fare that well against a Bill Belichick defense. That's just the history. It speaks for itself. Only two rookie quarterbacks had some kind of success against them, and that says a lot about Bill Belichick, the coach he is. So, comes some of his throws. I mean, I think he only played like maybe a couple series at best. But
Yeah, it was only like two
like
or three. It was like
now,
three.
hold on,
Series,
because I did take a note.
About
'Cause me
three
and
to four
Moolage
series max.
was talking about it. Where was it? Yeah, Dell. Now Dell is the guy.
Mm-hmm.
That was the
Mm-hmm.
biggest takeaway from that game was watching Dell. I knew he was good. I know he was that good though. Like I know it's the preseason, but he shows some shit where I'm like, hey man, he might actually have a major role coming up down the pipe. Like he looked really good. And yes, I know it's preseason and people get the hype of the, it's just preseason. Listen, if you're good, you're good. Point blank. Don't matter when you play. If you're good, you're good. That dude is going to be a baller when the season starts. He is. Give him, like I said, give him a couple weeks too. And when he really gets his feet wet, he's going to be somebody we're talking about again when we start doing this film breakdown when the season kicks off. I can guarantee that much for sure. And the same with CJ Stroud. He will get better. He's young. He's got it. The only issue he has right now is something that Colin Cowherd goes back to a lot, and it's young rookie quarterbacks with defensive head coaches. That's the only issue that CJ Stroud is going to have, is that he doesn't have that offensive mind to help mold all his tools together. Because DeMeco Ryans is a defensive head coach. That's not a slight on DeMeco Ryans. That's just the way it's set up. And the first time I heard Collins, I was like, that sounds stupid. But then you go back and watch, and you're like, that makes way more sense than I thought it did. Because defensive coaches don't have the same mindset to run an offense. They just don't. That's why a guy like that. No, it's true. Like they don't, because they're more focused on the defense because that's their home.
Bill Belichick did a really good job with the offenses and stuff that he had being a defensive-minded head coach. Bill Parcells,
he doesn't. Those two don't count.
I was just gonna say you can't name anomalies.
You can't just those are two coaches who conformed and molded and continue to grow with the changes in the game.
Exactly. Like those are two
coaches who are
geniuses.
Those guys don't count. They're on a fucking pantheon of coaches that some coaches will never even sniff the shoes of.
I mean, Mike Tomlin. I mean, even though he was a receiver, but he's considered a defensive guy.
Okay, I can understand that point. But Mike Tomlin, again, is an anomaly because that man has never had a losing season with every single pass rush.
But he also hasn't had a rookie quarterback until last season. He's had stability at quarterback when he took over that job. There was stability minus the injuries that Big Ben had. He had a stable quarterback. So he didn't. Now we're really seeing how good Mike Tomlin's going to be with a now sophomore quarterback. Kenny Pickett showed some flashes last year. He wasn't bad. He wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
He could.
True.
I mean, he was the rookie. Yeah. I mean, the rookie quarterback was the one who got them.
Exactly. So, but there's still room for him to grow. Like you've got that. He's got of all the younger quarterbacks. He's got a better supporting cast than most.
Oh, definitely.
Like he's got some speed.
Easy.
I love Pat Fryermuth. Like I'm a big fan of the Deontay Johnsons. Like he's got good, reliable weapons around him to be really good.
That's the formula.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think to me that's the form. If you're gonna, that's why I hate that established teams. Like I think the Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, the Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes mold, that always works. It hasn't failed yet.
Well, we're gonna find out with Jordan Love this year.
Yes, we are.
I really think, I think the Packers are going to be very.
I don't think he's bad. We're going to see if that trend continues with Green Bay specifically, because they've had stability at quarterback for a long time,
a very long time.
But then the quarterback ahead of him has to also want to groom the kid behind him.
Well, clearly they did not. Well, neither of those two guys wanted to groom the other, so. But we'll see. Time will tell. I know we've got some preseason games on deck tonight too. From my understanding, I didn't see who all was playing, but I think the Ravens are up tonight.
I know it's like four.
I think it's 3 or 4 games. Like it's a lot of games tonight, so it should be really good.
There's games every day until Sunday, which is weird. Yep. I've never seen them do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday games which is fine. I'm here for the football.
I'm definitely here.
So we got Atlanta at Miami, the Giants at Detroit, Green Bay, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh at Tampa, Washington Commanders in Cleveland, Denver and Arizona. So, got a lot of games today.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all today. Like
those
games all start at 6. So those games are all on different channels, basically, because there's no way all 6 of them games are going to be on at the same time and nobody can watch them.
I think it's just local time, whatever the home game is.
I'll find out when we get off the pod, and I'll go check it out. Go give me a
Definitely.
little
Right.
film. Go give me a little film study.
Yep, that's
Um,
the
yeah, we'll
all
get to
right.
Tyreek Hill because he put out his top 5 wide receivers of all time, and
What'd you say? It was blasphemous? Is that what you?
it was very much blasphemy.
Yeah, he was drunk
I mean,
off the lighter fluid that day.
when his top 2 wide receivers of all time was Antonio Brown and Torrey Holt. So
I mean, that's just also that's him paying homage to one of the old heads. Like I'm never gonna knock somebody for their top 5 all time list because it's yours at the end of the day. Like
it's crazy.
I understand
It
people
is
want
crazy.
to leave certain players on these lists, but everybody has a different thought process, and they just do.
This is true. No, I'm 100.
Like
I totally agree. But I don't
Absolutely.
so,
think
like
any list. I don't think you can have a wide receiver list in a top 5, and Jerry Rice is not on it.
that's perfectly fine. But like I said, I didn't have an issue with his list. I actually enjoyed when he said Torrey Holt because I'm like Torrey Holt's name does not get brought up as much as I feel like it should.
Now at
Because
that
Torrey
point I
Holt
can
was
understand.
No, I
Torrey Holt
no.
was
I'm a
he's a very 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 crispy route runner, and he didn't really
no.
get the
Torrey
credit
Holt.
that he should have got because that man has some sweet feet. Like dead ass has some sweet feet. Like that man can
No, I
separate.
I believe all of those wide receivers should be in the Hall. Torrey Holt's still not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know that's shocking still that Torrey Holt
That's
hasn't gotten in
actually
yet, and the
crazy to
film
me.
don't lie. That's what's even crazy. The film don't lie. Like
Yeah,
the way this man
and
was
the
able to get
numbers don't
separation is
lie.
stupid. No, the
And
numbers just put the last nail in the coffin, to speak
mhm,
metaphorically.
yep.
It's
So
just it's
we'll
just
get to
crazy,
that. We'll touch that. Go ahead, move. What you
bro.
got?
But all right, to really kind of give a quick breakdown of this game, CJ Stroud looked really uncomfortable. I don't want to say he looked bad because he's a rookie, so I'm going to give him time to grow, but he looked uncomfortable. The O-line didn't really do anything for him, like literally at all. They had him in distress a lot. I do feel like he held the ball a little too long on a few possessions.
Yeah,
Could have just let the ball go. Take your first read; it's there. Trust your eyes. And there were a few times where he just kind of just held it just a little too long, bro. Release the ball on time, bro. Like just let it go. I know it's kind of got a new kind of look out there, but it's really the same. Trust your eyes and take what they give you. And they were giving him some easy ones. He just didn't take him. He's trying to go. Thinking it was more college, trying to go down the field and get that big play instead of just taking what the defense is giving him. So I think he definitely is going to need to improve on that. His footwork in the pocket was definitely questionable, got really stagnant. You've seen that the problem that he had in college coming out where he didn't really like to use his legs a lot. And that was definitely apparent in this game. He just kind of let his feet die a lot compared to Case Keenum and Davis Mills to where they're moving around in the pocket, extending the play. He just kind of trying to focus on using his arm a lot, and he has to get out of that. He's not a slow runner. He's more athletic than he thinks, so he needs to try to use that athleticism and use some of that elusiveness to extend some plays, man. Extend some plays, make some plays, bro. You're the quarterback. Take control. Be more comfortable in the game.
And the flip side of that though too is yes, there were a lot of openings underneath, but that's by design.
Yeah, definitely.
Bill Belichick's defense will let you throw that ball 5 to 7 yards, 100%,
all
because
day.
they're gonna stick you right there, and eventually he gonna catch you napping, and you gonna think that window open, and here comes his linebacker that's gonna snatch that ball out there and take off down the other side.
That's true.
Right. But that's
But
the part of a quarterback that you have to understand is if they're gonna give it to you, take it,
Yeah, and that's
and
the
then
learning process, right? Like that's the
yeah,
learning
right.
curve of being that quarterback. It's like, okay, they're gonna give me that. I got to take that now to where they might not give me that later, but something else might pop or this might work later. So it's just a learning process, and I know he's gonna get a lot better at it. And I trust the process in Houston. I trust D'Amico as far as his going as far as development goes. He had a really solid rotation as far as defense. He kept a lot of his defense players fresh. I think that's why the Patriots offense never really caught a rhythm. I was looking more at John Mechie III. I wanted to see how he came back to the field. I know he missed a lot last season coming back from cancer. So we'll see you. Great to see you back in the field. Was looking at him just trying to see how he was kind of taking the field, how the field kind of acclimated to him, just how comfortable he was back in pads and back in a fast moving kind of fluid motion like that. And he looked really well. I think the more he goes on, just the better he's going to get, the more flourish he's going to get, a lot more comfortable he's going to get. Tank Dell definitely gets some credit from me because he looked Very, 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 very good. The boy can fly. Really, really solid hands. Super
Yep.
sticky. Really, really solid routes as well. I know he's young. He's a young guy too. So the ceiling for him is crazy.
Yeah, definitely somebody to consider for future dynasty picks for sure.
I was gonna say definitely
That's
somebody.
somebody. That's definitely somebody you would want to stash on the taxi.
Mm-hmm.
Might even make an impact this season.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
You heard what I said. I'm always researching,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, I'm always. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
I got
always
that
researching.
notebook. You know, the
Whiteboard is
Patriots
ready.
look. The Patriots look like the Patriots to me. Their defense looked really strong at first, but you could tell as the Houston Texans started going in, they started to take out some of their second strings. The Houston Texans, they start going, just start getting on a little
Yeah.
on a little
Needless to say, our depth could not handle the switches.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Right.
They started to get
But
on
it's
a little
okay.
rhythm, and
But that's I don't expect anything less. I know
oh yeah,
as the
no,
season progresses, that defense is going to keep doing what it's doing. That defense
definitely.
is still going to finish as a top 10, possibly top 5 defense this year.
Oh,
They're
absolutely. I
gonna
have no
be in
doubt about that.
contention. They'll be in contention with Philly for the sack leaders this year. I can definitely see that. Judon killed it last year, double-digit sacks. So we should still be able to produce plenty of sack. What I want to see from the Patriots defense in totality is I want to see more takeaways. We were in the upper 20s last year for takeaways. I would like to see us come down to about 12 to 13. We come down to 12 to 13 on takeaways. Now we're changing the game. But right now you can't be in the upper 20s in takeaways and think you're going to be successful. It's not going to work.
Yeah,
that's not a Belichick thing. We're typically anywhere from top 10 to no lower than 13, 14 as far as takeaways go. But we also been trading away some of our better corners, like I'm still salty about the JC Jackson thing. I'm like still hella salty about that. Because if we'd have had JC Jackson and then we just drafted Christian Gonzalez, shit. Man, get out of here. That's a nasty 1-2 punch right there.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Yeah, you'll get it. It'll come. Move on to game 2, Seahawks Vikings. I am a big component. I'm a big fan of Kobe Bryant. I am waiting for him to emerge. I thought him and Sauce in college were dope. I think they're going to be dope as pros. Sauce clearly took off first, which is fine.
Yeah,
but Kobe
that's
Bryant
it's kind of by design. But
right. Yeah. But Kobe Bryant is coming. He's coming.
Yeah. I didn't have a lot of takeaways from this game. The game honestly was kind of boring. If I'm
that's why I just say that's why I just mentioned Kobe Bryant.
I say that. What I will say is I enjoyed watching Seattle's defense flying like they were flying. They absolutely was flying because that shot on third down was a nasty little hit. Like that's already been tagged as a Legion of Boom back. I was like, that was a nasty hit though. Like it was pretty. It was a textbook hit. But I was like, all right, Pete Carroll got these boys in preseason hitting like they midseason. I was like, that's a great sign. That was probably the biggest takeaway for me from that game was that Seahawks defense for sure. They looked really good for it being preseason. They looked under control. They didn't buckle under any kind of pressure. They kept the pressure on. They hustled the quarterback quite a few times last night, and those are all good signs to see. And they definitely were very, very fluid on tackles. Like I did not see a lot of missed tackles, and that's a Pete Carroll staple. They don't miss a lot of tackles.
That is a Pete Carroll staple.
They're always one of the best tackling teams in football, and it was on full display in the preseason last night as well. So looking forward to seeing what this Seattle team's going to do. I like Seattle. I like the team. Like I just like the way they're put together. Like, I still like DK Metcalf. I think he'll finish as a top 10 receiver this year. I think he'll finally get back to it. Now that Geno's kind of, I guess we'll say settled in is the right way to go about it. There is film out there on him now, so we're going to see how that translates. But I do think DK gets back to putting that type of production up that we saw before with Russ. We'll see. Hopefully health doesn't play a factor for Tyler Lockett because that was a big hit for them last year, losing him. Now, the problem you're running into now is your top 2 running backs are also both injured, one with the groin and one with a upper body injury of some kind. So you may not even have Kenneth Walker for the first couple games because I believe he had a groin injury, which is not what you want as a running back is anything in the groin whatsoever because of all the impact. So I don't expect to see Kenneth Walker for the first really and truthfully 3 games. If he wants to get fully healed, you're talking about 6 to 12 weeks for a groin to be as close to fully healed as possible, but you don't know because
he's got time. He might make it. He might make it because he's got time now.
He does. And I'm glad that it happened when it did.
The rehab.
But the problem is if you try to rush it back and you re-aggravate that injury, now you're talking about a grade 2 as opposed to a grade 1, which would take him out a lot longer. So you've got to be careful because he's a running back, which means a lot of high pressure movement, a lot of foot in the ground, a lot of impact on them upper legs. Like people don't realize how important your groin is until you mess it up the first time. Like even trying to sleep on that side, your groin will wake you up.
Which is crazy to me that you would think in the off season you're doing the proper
You're talking about
stretching.
something that's literally this long. The groin is that long, and when you can pull the shit out that accordion, and that accordion will knot up and fuck you up. Like there ain't a look. I did that to myself when I was deployed to Africa. I was training on the turf field, and then we started playing football. And a one little hip move, got that knot in my groin. I was messed up for 6 months. I healed up, went right in time for the Army-Navy flag football game. Like that was the first time I had felt 100%. Was that the day of the game?
Wow.
Like that groin is no. And like I said, I'm a track and field athlete, so like.
Yeah, the groin is part of the reason why I had to stop running track because my stride is abnormally long.
Oh yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Crazy. Like I generate a lot of power. So when my turnover and I touch, it's a lot of strain going all the way up my leg, and it's a lot. When I had my surgery, my surgeon, he broke it down. He was just like, yeah, if you want to never tear anything again, and that just doesn't mean your knee, I would suggest you take your leg training a lot more seriously than you had before. And it's been 10 or 12 years since I tore anything before. So
yeah, I've been fortunate, knocking on wood. Like I said, I'll be 34 next week. I ain't had no significant injuries that I've had to have surgery on, but had a few nicks and bruises though. I definitely got those.
All right. So, we opened up the show with suckers. We're going to move to the middle of the show with some more suckers.
Just a quick point. Yeah. I wanted to point out that Jordan Addison looks really, really good.
That's he's my guy too. I
have to give him his shout out because his routes look very, very crisp. Separation looked absolutely great. Footwork looked great. His hands are sticky. The man has some really great hands, some really, really solid hands. He had a sideline catch that they took away from him that really should have been a really good catch. Toe drag swag, as Nate Burleson would say. Yeah. Okay. And he came down with it. That was Jordan Addison is coming up. I think the Vikes receiving core this year with him and Jefferson, they're gonna be scared.
Addison is another one that's on that list of dynasty players to be keeping an eye on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's funny that you brought up that. It's crazy how minds work. So part of the sucker shit that was happening on TikTok was about catches. So I want to ask you guys, when we talk about the greatest catches of all time,
okay,
would you think situation and circumstance play a role in what should be considered a great catch?
No.
No,
because those moments can happen at any point of the game. That shit can happen on the very first play of the game. Somebody makes an all-time great spectacular catch.
Okay.
Like, there's no true way to like quantify it because like nobody expected Odell to make that catch. Nobody.
No.
But when he did, it was spectacular.
Okay. I guess what my thing is, there's a difference between great catch and an amazing catch.
Okay, so we're
Odell's
talking a tier below.
Yeah, so I'm saying Odell's catch was amazing, 100%. But when you're down by 20, I can't really consider it a great catch. Case in point, I'll give you context behind this. One of the guys who was, I think his name was Kieran. I don't know his name. I can't remember his name. So I'm gonna clip this shit up for him. He did his top 10 all-time NFL's greatest catches of all time. Top 10. 2 of the catches weren't catches, and when I say they weren't catches, they were negated by penalties.
Did he try to say one of them was DeAndre Hopkins' catch? That wasn't
two DeAndre Hopkins.
The one against the Miami Dolphins that he caught underneath his leg, but he was out of bounds.
Yep, and then the one he caught one-handed on the sideline. I forgot who it was against. And I
Did
was
he
like,
have
bro,
the
you
Hail-
can't have.
did he have the Hail Murray on that list? Now that was a hell of a catch by DeAndre Hopkins. That was a catch.
That wasn't even on the list.
Get the
Oh
fuck out
God.
of here.
Oh
That catch was
God.
better than both of those you just named.
I was gonna say that
Dude,
was
this
best
man
catch.
he out jumped 3 fucking defenders.
3 people.
And
High
he had
point
his
here.
hands were above those guys' heads.
Literally,
and he snatched
like-
that motherfucker.
One, like if you look
And-
at the slow-mo of that catch, his head is sitting on top of Bruh's head, and he just said, "Thank you. I appreciate
What's
you."
even
bro."
crazier is the next gen stats said that had a 0.25% chance of being a catch.
Literally.
But that
That is one of the most.
But
That
that's-
is one of the greatest catches you'll ever see in football.
and that's what I mean by doesn't situation matter. You know what I'm saying?
It
Like-
matters if the catch was negated.
You know, and then it's like we talked about this Antonio Holmes catch.
Okay,
Crazy.
we're back on this one.
Very hard, very ill catch in the Super Bowl, toe tap, all of it. Like it's very, but and I'll tell you why. His list, everybody who caught a pass on his top 10 list, it was one-handed.
So what
So
he's
it's
saying
like-
is one-handed catches are the best catches that anybody can do.
That's what that's exactly what I put in the comment.
I definitely call cap on that because there are plenty
Thank
of two-handed catches that are just as good as these one-handed catches, depending on which circumstance you want to look at.
And that was my point of it when I said what you said. I was like, so basically you're saying a one-handed catch makes it one of the greatest catches of all
Did
time.
he have
That's crazy.
the Tyler Lockett catch in the Super Bowl against the Patriots? Because that motherfucker was falling on the ground and caught that bitch
I
off his
don't-
foot.
I don't believe he had that one.
Like the amount of
Goodness
concentration that play took, he kicked it off his foot and caught that bitch on the ground
Right.
in the
The
Super Bowl.
Julian Edelman catch.
The Julian Edelman catch to
No.
me is the greatest catch I've ever seen in
That
the
was-
Super Bowl, point blank.
Like
That's the
That was
greatest
no,
catch in
that
the Super
was
Bowl
no,
I've ever seen because
that wasn't on
ridiculous.
there.
no,
How was
that
it
was
not on
not.
there?
Crazy.
That's an all-time catch. I don't give a fuck. Even if I
Bro.
wasn't a Patriots fan, that is an all-time catch because
I was
I
I was rooting against Tom that whole game.
dude,
And this
if
man, bro, first of all, I
did it.
had to apologize on social media live. I ain't even gonna lie to you, like on Twitter and Facebook, because I'm when I tell you I was slandering Tom Brady the whole game. Like, Tom, I know you ain't finna go out like this, dog. And when I tell you, I literally added him, mentioned him on Twitter. Like, damn, I'm sorry, I'll shut up now.
If Julian Edelman doesn't make that catch, they lose the Super Bowl.
They lose that
100%.
fucking
They do,
game.
because that right there was one of the bigger momentum swings of that whole game. But let's talk about it from a difficulty standpoint. Let's put our coaches' hats on here for a second. Let's talk about this from like this. If Julian Edelman does not have a 99 Madden rating style eye-hand coordination, that catch never happens. Because
Nope.
you have the wherewithal. First of all, you're not even standing up. You're falling down. That ball was a sneeze away from touching the ground. And when I say
Somehow.
everything had to be perfect for that to work. And he literally pulled it up like, I mean, I've never seen somebody just be like, like, that's a once in a generation catch. No one's gonna
Like,
replicate that anytime.
You can't.
We'll be in our 70s when somebody else does this shit again.
I don't even
Because
think
that
it's
shit was
possible.
unbelievable.
I don't
Because
even
Now,
think
mind
it's
you-
possible to redo.
but I still think that catch on the biggest possible stage, like that catch right there for me is one of the few that surpasses the helmet catch, because the helmet catch is phenomenal, but that catch right there, so many ways that could have went wrong.
Oh,
That
And
could
this is why-
a defender could have kicked that ball. As soon as Julian Edelman got it, they could have punched the ball, like all these things, and he was falling, so he could have just fumbled. He could have just
Exactly.
fumbled and fell. Like there were like 90 different things that could have happened to ruin that play, and he made that catch.
And this is why I say don't circumstance matter. In that what make Justin Jefferson's catch against the Bills.
That was a nasty
Like-
one too.
It wasn't on his list.
Shit, was Stephon Diggs catch on that list against the Saints?
what?
Nope.
How? What is going on here?
That was a
That's
hell of
why
a
I
catch.
said
That was a hell of a catch by Diggs. Diggs had to climb the goddamn ladder to bring that ball down, and
Mhm.
still had to get on the ground and take off running and score.
T.O.'s catch. I think it was T.O.'s catch against the
I don't even think y'all can
Seahawks?
see this, bro. But what is
When
like?
he-
Come on. He
Like,
had to dive over through. That's the thing about
So-
it. I'm looking at this right now.
So,
he
does
had
he
to
have-
dive against another person over another dude, and then
Mhm.
land on three of them. Hold on to the.
Did he
Yeah.
have? Did he have any of Randy Moss's catches on there?
he had the easiest. He had the one where only one I would get. I was laughing because he beat Darrell Revis on it. When he was on the Patriots, when he caught it with one hand, I was like, but that
Yeah,
was
The
an
one
easy
hander.
catch.
so
But that was an easy
so
catch.
so
But he
bump
was
that.
open
So
off the
so
line.
but no, so there's another catch that Randy Moss had with the Patriots in the snow where he
Didn't
caught
have
it
that one.
one-handed.
Didn't have that
He
one.
caught that mother. He tipped it back to himself and snagged that hole in one hand.
There
Yeah,
was a
that
catch
was
when
Randy,
that he
Randy
had
Moss
that
has
he
a
had
Randy
on
Moss had a
Raiders.
lot of one-handed catches with the Patriots. Like he has some
yeah.
stupid plays, and there's some catches that Gronk had that could even make this list. Like Gronk got a couple of one-handed snags where he's getting tackled on the ground and he snags that fucking ball.
Yeah.
Hey man, do better. I don't like your
There's a
list. Do better.
catch. There's a catch where Randy Moss literally catches it with his damn knees when he was on the
Yeah.
Raiders.
Yep.
Like
I
with
remember
his
that.
knees, jumped up, and he was getting. First of all, he was getting pass interference. Jumped up, both his hands are to the side. He jumped up and squeezed that motherfucker with his legs. And that
Right. But this is like I said. This is
send me
insane.
this TikTok right now. Send me this
Like,
TikTok. Send me
okay.
wherever you see this, and I'm finna
Like you ain't
decimate
even
it. I do not
you don't
care.
even have the one the catch from the Steelers from back in the day could make this list easily. The
talking
Steelers
about
lose
the-
that game if he don't make that catch.
the Franco Harris.
Yeah.
The Franco
The
Harris.
Steelers lose. The
immaculate
Steelers
reception.
literally lose that game if he doesn't catch that, and he barely
Yeah.
caught that ball. If
First
you
of
go
all-
back and look, he barely caught that ball. Like if he
Yeah.
wouldn't have
Oh.
stopped, he wouldn't have caught that ball. He
Let's-
had to
let's-
stop moving because he had to catch that between his
Speaking
legs.
of which,
Let's really talk. Let's really talk about this. Let's really talk about this immaculate reception, right? Because I've watched this play so many goddamn times.
I had to. You see how many plays it could have went wrong?
Oh my gosh, bro!
Like that, just like
Well-
the Julian Edelman play. There's so many things that could have gone wrong that didn't.
I was so upset because everything that should have gone wrong didn't go wrong, and like the hit that dislodged it, I was like, "Oh,
Yes.
game over! Oh, game over!"
Mhm.
And then here comes Franco
then-
Harris out of nowhere, and he scooped that motherfucker off the turf like it was a rabbit in the middle of the street. Just come on. And he just got. And the cold part about it is, this is the cold part about it. Franco was never known for speed, but that
At
man
all.
was moving.
That man said, "This
Okay.
gonna be my only chance."
Oh, he said, "I'm running a 4.2 flat
Franco-
today, and you not catching me."
No, Franco stayed in the end zone. Speaking of Franco Harris, people was kind of upset. Going back to TikTok, that I said I could name 60 running backs better than Franco.
Yeah, I seen that. They were highly
Oh,
upset.
60, oh, 6, like 6-0?
Yeah,
They were-
mind you, right now at this present moment, without being really ignorant, I'm at 52 running backs that I would take. At
So-
52.
When are you gonna post that on TikTok and just break it into like 6 parts?
Yep, I'm ready.
That's
Oh, yeah,
like 6 parts worth of content right there.
Yeah, no. This is why I'm doing it right now. So when I do clip it up, when I say I'm at 52, like I think I can get to 60. I mean, there'll be, of course, there's going to probably be about 4 or 5 that people really want to argue with me about, but I'm solid on the 52 right now that you can't argue.
I like it. I like it.
Give me 10 of them.
Like 10,
Yep, I need to hear 10 right now.
Barry Sanders,
We can clip this up and put this on the TikTok.
10. Barry Sanders, Jim Brown, Marshall Falk, LaDainian Tomlinson, Marcus Allen, Bo Jackson, Eric Dickerson, Walter Payton, Adrian Peterson, O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, those are all automatic.
That was literally the easiest 10 in the history of 10.
Yeah, I know you can give me 10 more, but we'll save it for later. All right.
That's good.
Right,
That's a
yeah.
solid 10.
I'll give you some.
That's a solid 10.
Oh, that was a great 10. I had no arguments for me. That was a great 10. Yeah, I just wanted to hear it just for social media purposes.
Yeah, there's another 40 like that.
Oh, I love this. I love this because this is like burning a hole in the Niner fans community right now, and I'm absolutely ecstatic.
Mind you,
and pulling their hair out, and I
was gonna do a list of the 49er running backs that were better than Frank Gore.
You can do that too.
I got at least 4 or 5 of them.
Damn.
I can say that. I can probably honestly say that because
So
yeah, no, I can.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got Roger Craig, Ricky Waters.
Yep.
I can run them.
Yeah, that's
So
honestly.
But okay. Where was we at? Oh, suckers. Back to the suckers.
Back to the suckers.
My heart and soul, my team I grew up rooting for. since I was a youngster. My Washington Commanders. A lot of chatter going through training camp that, practice is too hard.
I like
He's
it.
doing
I
too
like it a lot.
much. We talked about this last week and we said today's players are soft.
I mean,
Um,
where's the lie?
you have to tighten it up. Like your offense was trash last year. It could have been way better. The reason why the offense was, the team kind of struggled because the offense was missing something. And then you bring in a guy like Eric Bieniemy, who comes. How many Super Bowls does Eric Bieniemy have?
Two.
Two. Yeah, he has
More
two.
than they got.
More than they got.
And his offenses,
Nobody on that team was there when the Commanders won their last Super Bowl.
mm-mm.
So
and
they don't even
he's
know the feedback.
operated. He's operated one of the best offenses in the NFL for since he's been in Kansas City.
So if your ears ain't wide open and your eyes ain't big, you shouldn't be there.
Then you have a problem.
Because
You
you
should.
got a guy coming in with that kind of resume. Like, even if he's simply a part of, but Andy Reid really was a mastermind. But Eric Bieniemy ran the offense with the
Exactly.
input of Andy Reid. There's a difference there.
Uh,
Andy Reid,
Yeah, and I'm
they
gonna.
came up with the game plans together, but Eric Bieniemy ran the offense.
Quite
Like,
literally.
let's not forget this. Like, this is not us making shit up. Like, they've talked about this. They collaborate on the playbook, but Eric Bieniemy runs the offense. And then if Andy Reid sees something, he's like, "Hey, let's do this because this is what's going on." It's a collaborative effort. So there's nothing going on in Washington that I'm upset about whatsoever because these players need
Not one thing.
this. Like,
Yeah, and I'll get
here's
on Shady McCoy in a minute.
yeah. But so my problem is this: when a coach, a successful coach at that, goes to a team that's mediocre and they have a loser's mindset, which is exactly what Washington has, is a loser's mindset because they don't want to put the work in.
100%.
They don't want to put the work in. But you have to put the work in. If you win, it's because you worked your ass off. It's not because some coach who been winning Super Bowl showed up and just gave it to you. That ain't how that shit works. You got to grind. You got to put the work in. You got to sweat. You're going to be pissed off because guess what? All the prior coaches ain't done shit for you because it ain't worked.
Yeah.
You ain't even sniffed a champ. You ain't sniffed the NFC championship in a very long time.
Yep. Tyreek Hill sent out a tweet after all this came out and said, "Y'all will be better for it." That's all he said.
100%. Like, but I mean, when is the last time Washington was in the second round of the playoffs at this point? It's been a while.
Yeah. Like, it's the thing about it is my biggest issue is this. One, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. There is nobody on that field that has the right to say anything to Eric Bieniemy. Shut up. Shut up.
Hey, God damn it. That is perfect. Shut up. Shut up. We don't care.
Shut
I mean,
up.
at the end of the day, bro, all I hear is a whole bunch of grown ass men bitching about how hard fucking practice is. Right? Practice is supposed to be fucking hard, bro. Practice is supposed to be hard so the game can be easy. That's what my coach used to tell me all the goddamn time. So, I mean, if you're going to sit up there and bitch and moan about how hard practice is or about how hard a certain coach is going, bro, we had one coach specifically that, quote unquote, nobody liked, right? But everybody respected him for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how winning is done, bro. That's how winning is made. That's how championship mold. That's how that shit is made right there in the trenches, from day one. A coach getting on your ass because he see you half-assing that the other coach wouldn't have fucking got on you about, but he gonna get on you about it because he wants to win. That's how important it is to him. And if it's not that important to you, you probably shouldn't be there.
You're probably in the wrong place. You're
probably in the wrong spot.
Because, I mean, and I'm gonna get to Shady McCoy and what he said about Eric Bieniemy and yada yada yada. Now he has the axe to grind with Eric Bieniemy because of his time in Kansas City. But I hate this notion, and it's going through sports a lot lately, that you can't talk to players like that. Like, first of all, this is a bigger issue that I have in general with us as, when I say us, I mean black people, because it's majority of us. We have a problem with authority. And we think because someone makes more money that you have to deal with them a certain way. No. Respect is earned. And when you're on the football field, the offensive coordinator, the head coach, the defensive coordinator, they're there for a reason. They're there to push you. They're there to make you better. So, and my uncle used to tell me this all the time. I don't treat everybody equally. I treat them fairly because the way I treat you is not how I'm going to treat him over there. So I will treat you both fairly. And too many of these players nowadays, they get because they're multimillionaires, and oh, you can't talk to me like that. Mhm. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. And he's supposed to talk to you like that because he's trying to get something out of you that you are not willing to take out yourself.
You know what? Do you know what? Because I know a lot of young players that struggle with this. Right? I call it bitchitis because at the end of the day,
Yep.
you sound like a bitch to me. But this is the thing, right? This is the thing I really don't like, right? Because a lot of people feel like because they're in a certain not even and it really has nothing for me, it has nothing to do with status or money. It's just they feel like because they're in a certain position of life or because of a certain way that they were raised that they don't have to listen to a certain type of authority, or when they hear certain types of things that may be critiquing or that may criticize them, they don't
Yeah.
like it because they weren't used to hearing it. And I have a problem with that, right? I always say somebody never told you that you was dumb before, huh? And when I say that, I don't mean like actually dumb. I just mean
Right.
like the
I
shit
know what
that
you mean.
you're probably doing is fucking stupid, and nobody's ever told you that before, right? And I get it, right? Because that can come off kind of harsh, but a lot of the times in this world, a lot of fucking people need to be told that the shit that they're doing is dumb as hell. Straight up, like there's no sugarcoating. I'm not gonna come up and oh
Mhm.
my gosh, you should probably no. The shit that you're doing is dumb. Okay, it's stupid. So we should probably do it this way or work to do it this way so you don't look fucking stupid. That's like
Yeah.
that's how we get it. That at the end of the day, that's how we get to the top, right? All this sugarcoating.
Constructive.
I've noticed this, bro. I've noticed this shit, and it's fucking irritating. A lot of fucking people want shit sugarcoated to them. They want it
Yeah.
sprinkled right on top, and no, that's not how the real world works. That's not how football works. Okay, if you suck, you suck.
Especially football. Constructive criticism is a good thing.
It
That's how
literally
you
is.
get better.
That's how you have to get better. If
It's
you
a part of
suck,
growth.
you suck.
It's
Now, what are you going to
100%.
do about it?
How about you buckle your chin strap and get the fuck rolling?
Thank you. Like at the
Mhm.
end of the day, bro, you either work hard and get better, or you get your ass off the field and let the next person behind you step up. But at the end of the day,
Right.
all this bitching and moaning and crying and all this stuff like that, bro, like that's weird to me, bro. You know what you signed up for. Football is a hard fucking game. Somebody's gonna be in your ass and on your ass 24 fucking 7, as they should be, because this is not only do people want to win, this is people livelihoods, this is people jobs on the line, money,
But you
paychecks,
know what?
families. Like,
I
of course they're
I
gonna
I,
go for it.
I, I listened to a conversation, and um, what Shady McCoy said, Eric Bieniemy needs to stop with that old school shit because these new players aren't like that. And it goes back. I listened to a conversation, and what happened, what one of the people had said was, players these days act as if them playing in professional sports is a right and not a privilege.
They do.
Yep,
And
100%.
that's the way that they treat it. And I think we have to self-correct that. Like this is, bro, like you know how
You're
dope it
lucky.
would be to be a professional athlete?
You're lucky.
You get you're lucky you beat the odds.
Literally. You beat all the odds. And especially, and this is the thing, right? To go back to the point about black people, right? Especially y'all, bro, because the odds are already against y'all a lot, right? And we understand that as
Mm-hmm.
black folks, the odds are already against you, right?
Mhm.
You defied and beat all of those odds and got to the top, got to a place where most people can't even fathom of being, bro. Making making money that most people can't even fathom or can't even think about having or dreaming of touching. And y'all want to most people fuck it off for something stupid, right? Most people do exactly what Mel said, take advantage of it and think it's a fucking right instead of an actual privilege. It's like, bro, do you know how lucky you are? You don't understand how lucky you are, bro.
Yep.
Your ass can be right back in the trap with moms and dads and brothers and all the stuff like that. Niggas eating off food stamps and going to McDonald's every single fucking day, scraping off nickels and dimes and pennies just to get your next meal. right? You are lucky, dog. Take advantage of that shit. Yes, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yes, it may suck in some aspects, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you're probably gonna be happy for it, right?
But
When the
the thing
championships
about it
come,
is,
the all pros
is
come, the Hall of Fames come, the extra money come, the endorsements. You're gonna be happy about that, right? So I would suggest putting up with a little bit of torment for a whole bunch of reward, bro. Like the reward is
what
always bigger than the work for a
the
reason.
thing that kills me, the thing that bothers me the most is that you bust your ass to get there. So you have to bust your ass to stay there. You don't get to relax once you get there. It's not how that you got to work even harder now
There's a
to
lot of people.
maintain the position, to maintain the position that you worked to get to.
That's why a
From
lot of cats
Pee Wee
don't get
ball.
drafted. There's a
Mhm.
there's a limited number that gets drafted. That's why we've done a top 10 list of the all-time like undrafted guys. That don't
Yep.
that's a rare list. Like there's not a
Yep.
lot of overall great undrafted cats. Like they're not the list we just went over. Like
Mhm.
the NFL literally has a limited number of individuals that get drafted.
Yep. So when you
Like they
get
don't
there,
there is no, oh, you didn't get drafted, so you're gonna go down to AAA like in baseball. You're gonna go down to the G League like in basketball. No, motherfucker, your ass is either going
nope.
to the CFL, the XFL, or USFL. You go to a whole different league.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank.
Even that's if that, or you end
And
up like Kurt Warner.
that's if you make
You packing
it.
bags.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you packing bags at the grocery store,
So like make it
Yeah.
make sense.
So yeah,
or
like
or you can end up like Miles Jack and be looking for a trade job, and then
Yeah.
get a
And
call.
then all of a sudden you got a phone call.
Yeah, all of a sudden he got a phone call. Right at the end of the day, bro, don't take advantage. Right, appreciate the work. Understand that it's
yeah,
gonna be hard. It's gonna be a grind, but appreciate it, dog. Like
find the beauty in it, man. There's
exactly.
beauty in the grind.
Exactly. There's beauty in everything as long as you can find it. And at the end of the day, I understand like how these young kids are coddled from birth to high school, and then as soon as they get out of high school, they sit there and they get smacked in the face by life and they don't know what the fuck to do after that. But I
Yep.
put that a lot on the parents and on these coaches, bro. Y'all didn't tell them the real, and y'all didn't prepare them enough for the shit that they were gonna see in the real world, right? Because somebody's not gonna agree with them. Somebody's gonna cuss them the fuck out. Somebody's gonna tell them some crazy shit that they've never fucking heard. Somebody's gonna throw some shit that they've never been prepared, never seen before, and they're not prepared to do. Like, how are you gonna make sure that the kids that you have in your atmosphere, the kids that you have, are prepared for that? At the end of the day,
Yep.
because that's an important, to me, that's an important part of coaching, right? I'm not just focused on the field aspect of the game. I'm focused on life, dog. Like the
I'm
shit
raising
I
men.
learned,
Like,
exactly the shit that I learned on the football field, and not even just on the football field, just being around my coach in meetings, watching film, weights, whatever the case may be, just sitting up there talking with him one-on-one will forever be with me, other than the shit that I actually learned on the field. And I can use that anytime. Right, I still play football to this day, but the life lessons that he told me, that he taught me on the field, hard work, perseverance, patience, the shit that I knew that I fucking sucked at, and nobody told me that except him. Right, nobody was gonna get in my face and be like, Devontae, you suck at patience. You suck. You have no hard work ethic whatsoever. You need to get better. You need to take every day to get better. If nobody ever told me that, I'd probably still be some fucking loser fucking gang member in the street, dead or in jail, selling drugs somewhere.
yep. People don't understand coaches in a lot of instances. Coaches are the fathers that we didn't have.
Literally.
And you have to take those words that come from them, use them, apply them, and let them grow you. Sometimes it's not going to be the stuff that you want to hear, but it's the stuff that is told to you that you don't want to hear that makes you who you are going to be later on in life.
It's what you need to hear.
And that's what you need to hear.
It's literally what you need to hear. One of my
Oh,
coaches said this to me, and I'll never forget it. He asked me a question, right? Random question. It was literally beginning of practice, maybe like 2 weeks before playoff started. Random ass question, literally, like, swear to God, beginning of practice. He walked up to me, in front of everybody too. He was like, Devontae, where's your father? Straight up, just like that. I was like, he's in jail, coach. He was like, so is mine. Straight like that, walked away. The next conversation we had, he was like, you want to know why I asked you that? He said, because I see a lot of myself in you. And the path that you were on prior to stepping in my office that day was very, very scary. And he understood, right? He understood I was a menace, bro. I was a menace, dog. Straight up. But he understood that, and he knew that he had to take that time to connect with me on a deeper level, right? Because a lot of the kids that I grew up around, or a lot of the kids that I was around at that time in high school, they came from 2-parent households, right? Like I didn't have that. You feel me? He didn't have that. So he knew that he had to connect with me on a deeper level. So sometimes, and I tell my brother this all the fucking time, when coaches say shit, when they do shit, they're doing it on purpose to try to see how you react. And depending on your reaction, that's the type of action that you're gonna get from them.
That's how he deals with you. Like in college, my coach did the same thing. I was wondering why he was riding my ass for 2 weeks, riding me. I'm like, yo, bro. And one day I said, yo, I was like, what is the point of all this? Like, what is the point? And he was like, you should never worry about why I'm riding. The day that I stop, that's when you need to worry.
Every coach has told me that.
Always stuck with me.
I tell my athletes all the time. Told me that. I was like, the day I stop coaching you up is the day you should be concerned.
Literally, day every single good coach will tell you that if I'm on your ass every single day, it's because I see greatness in you, I see potential, and I want you to be the best of your best. The day I stop coaching you, the day I stop riding your ass, the day I stop yelling at you, the day I stop looking at you, the day I stop giving you that random ass fucking meme mug that you get fresh out the goddamn locker room. Practice ain't even started, and I'm already mugging you because you finna do something wrong. The day I stop doing that, that's the day you need to.
I gave up. Day I gave up.
But if he's constantly doing that, if he's constantly on your ass, it's because he sees something in y'all. He sees the greatness, and a lot of people don't understand. The Commanders have a very sleepy, good roster, and they can really make some noise if they had the right motion and the right coach and the right mentality. And Eric Bieniemys is like, hey, we got it,
I'm gonna pull it out you.
We just have to do it.
And it's like
one way or another.
And it's gonna happen. And speaking of sleepy good rosters and not being able to get shit out of them, Dak Prescott had a shitty week.
That's one way of putting it.
I ain't gonna lie, I feel like Dak had shitty weeks in the past month and a half.
But is it Dak Prescott or is it Mike McCarthy? What do you guys think it is? I know what I think it is, but I wanna see what you guys think.
I think it's both. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 100% both of them. Not even both. Both of them.
Right. Both of them. BOPH.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't think Dak Prescott is a good quarterback, and I don't think Mike McCarthy is a good offensive coordinator. I don't think he's a good head coach or offensive coordinator. I don't know what he is.
He's just a guy who eats beer, drinks beer, and eats nachos with Jerry Jones.
There we go.
That's what I feel.
There we go.
It's for me, and it's if I put numbers to it, it's 60-40. And it's 60-40 in favor of 60 for Dak, 40 for the coach. I'm gonna put it like that because
I'm gonna say
we've seen Dak Prescott have success with even if you go back to the previous coach, go back to when Red was coaching him, he's had success. He's been a more of one of the upper echelon quarterbacks in this league, not top 5, but upper echelon to say the least. We've seen this. Where did it all go?
So he's had Norv Turner and Jason Garrett, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he had Kellen Moore as a coordinator.
And Kellen Moore,
who opened up his whole playbook, and now he's going to do the same thing with Justin Herbert.
He's
had a lot of success he's really had a lot of success as a quarterback. Like he really has. As much as Mel doesn't like him, he has put up good numbers.
I believe
a lot of teams would take a quarterback like Dak Prescott because he has some intangibles. He doesn't get in trouble off the field. He's a down to earth guy. Yeah. Like with the right system, he absolutely could be a damn good quarterback. And I just don't.
When I say he's not a good quarterback, what I say is I don't believe he's the guy that you want him throwing the ball 40 to 50 times a game. I think he's only as effective as the running game is.
I'll buy that.
In my opinion.
I'll buy that if you can get him down to like not necessarily Jimmy Garoppolo with like 18 to 22, but if you get him down to more,
I say 25 to 30.
I think 25 to 30 is solid.
I think there's a lot of
Yeah,
quarterbacks in the league that fall under a specific type, right? Like you have your superstars, your Patrick Mahomes, you have your early Aaron Rodgers, you have your Joe Burrows, your Josh Allen's, right? And then you have you're just kind of you're kind of I don't want to say game manager because technically every quarterback is a game manager, but
every
you
quarterback's a game. I hate
you
that term when they say, "Oh, he's a game manager." Every
you have
quarterback manages the game.
you have your system guys, right? Like your system guys that just work within a system, right? I've always called Nick Foles. He was never a top 10. He was never a really great or a super good quarterback, but he was a system guy.
Yep.
You get him in the right system,
Right,
he's probably going to excel a lot, right? And I think Dak
right.
is a system guy. I think if you put him in the right system, which sometimes the Cowboys can kind of fluctuate from, but I think if you put him in the right system, like a Jimmy G in the 49ers or even on the Patriots, you put him in the right system, he's going to flourish. Right, put him behind somebody with a strong, or put him behind a strong offensive line with the strong running game. Give him some really solid receivers or some really good receivers, hopefully some above average receivers, and he's probably going to get you a 10, 11 win
Yeah,
season. He may not take you super
you
far
want
into the Super Bowl, but that's more to me. That would be more on the coaching, right? Because Mike McCarthy, shit, you call one fucking timeout when you're supposed to. It's y'all
Yeah.
going to the NFC Championship instead of the Niners. Let's
well,
keep it. Let's keep
Dak
it.
is a. I think you have the thing with Dak is he makes bad decisions, so
That's
you
true
have to
too.
limit them. You have to limit the amount of times he has to make decisions.
I mean,
Exactly.
that's partially true. He doesn't have a lot of double digit interception years like this past year. That's like an outlier year.
It
Like
was.
Dak Prescott is usually like a 6 to 8 interceptions per year type of quarterback.
But
Yeah,
Like
but
he's
it's
smart
upper
when
player.
he
30s
throws.
with like upper
It's like
30s on touchdowns. Like
he's
last
like
year
Kirk
was
Cousins.
yeah,
It's not a lot
100%.
of interceptions. It's just when he throws them, they're fucking
Yeah.
killer.
Yeah,
And
that's
yeah,
the thing. That's always a thing. I
and yeah,
I said the same thing about Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr. Like they're all kind of in the same echelon to me, right? Like they're not bad quarterbacks, but they're really good system guys. Like if you get them in a really good system, then they may not win you the big one, but they'll win you some really really close or really really tough games that you need. Hey, you need him to kind of make a play now. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's going to come down to you and coaching and some scheme, and you're going to have to really scheme up one to really cap off this win. But sometimes you can just let them go out there and get you one. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the kind of
Yeah,
echelon that Dak kind of
once in a
falls
while.
into. And they do kind of fumble them themselves, right? They do kind of mess up themselves when they kind of get a little bit overzealous. You see it with the Daks and the Kirks and the Derek Carrs. They kind of start feeling themselves a little bit, get a little overzealous, and probably miss a read and throw a bad interception in the worst fucking time. So
yep.
like it happens, but of course it's going to happen. Those are the things that are going to happen that you kind of have to live with because they're not a Justin Herbert, they're not a Patrick Mahomes, they're not a Joe Burrow, they're not even a Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts, right? So like it's just I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's like GQ said it's all Dak's fault or it's all McCarthy's fault. I would say that it kind of depends on the situation, and depending on the situation and the game, that's kind of where I'm going to lean towards my blame.
Yeah, that's exactly why I said it was 60-40 because prior to Mike McCarthy being there, Dak was an above average quarterback. He wasn't perfect, but he was an above average quarterback. This is before McCarthy got there. His numbers started to dip when McCarthy got there. That's why I give the 40% to Mike McCarthy because he was doing just fine with Jason Garrett. Yes, they weren't winning as many games every day, but he's had some double-digit win seasons with Jason Garrett prior to him being fired. But he had a lot of success as a passer. He was a consistent 4,000-yard passer. Like he always had good receivers to throw to, he had good offensive line. He's had good running backs. Like he's had everything you want in a young quarterback as far as the weapons around him. They just never could maximize it. But that's the curse of the Cowboys. It happened with Tony Romo too. That's why they stopped having quarterbacks hold the damn ball for the place kickers on the PAT because that one play literally fucked the Cowboys out of advancing in the playoffs because of that flopped ass play. And we know Tony Romo ain't that fast.
Yeah, because if the Cowboys took a page out of Kyle Shanahan's book, because if Kyle Shanahan had Dak Prescott, the 49ers would have won 2 Super Bowls by now.
Hell yeah.
I would say that.
Like,
Dak is because I think Dak is exceptional on the bootleg.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. I think he's an exceptional. That's probably his best on the move like that.
Literally.
And he is legitimately dangerous on the run because he could throw that. He can throw that. If you let him bootleg left or right and throw into a window, or if you let him keep that motherfucker and beat you to the edge, yeah, he gonna get you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what Kyle Shanahan does is he takes quarterbacks and says, "Look, get the ball to the playmakers. That's what you do."
And that's why
Just
the
get the
Niners
ball
have
to
like
everybody else.
three of the best yards after catch cats on their whole fucking roster.
Yep.
They got 3 guys
And
who go
that's
get it in a heartbeat.
and that's what to me, if the Cowboys want success, get the ball to CeeDee Lamb early. Get the ball to Brandon Cooks early. Run the ball. You have a legit two-headed monster in the backfield. Use it.
Assuming health, yeah.
Assuming health.
Because
But use it. Like
because if Pollard's not ready, I don't think Vaughn is going to be ready to step in as the RB1. Like not that much of a workload. Like I know he was the RB1 at Kansas State, but we're talking about the NFL now. Like we're not talking about college anymore with a running back, smaller running back.
Yeah, I forgot what they brought in. They brought in somebody. I can't think. Oh no, my bad. Ronald Jones' ass is on
Yeah, he's
suspension.
Oh yeah,
suspended
that's
for
right.
PEDs. He doesn't count.
Suspended. Yep. I was gonna say
So
suspended.
there's a chance it could be the Keyshawn Vaughn show.
Yeah,
You know, assuming
think
I haven't seen any. Maybe I missed the report about Tony Pollard being ready to go. I haven't seen anything.
no, he's not ready yet.
He's not.
So
He's not ready.
it's going to be the Keyshawn Vaughn show at the beginning of the year, and that's
Which
why
I-
the
which
Cowboys
I-
are also
which-
talking to Leonard Fournette as well.
But I like the kid. I mean, I didn't realize he was that small. I
Yeah.
really didn't. I knew he was small. I didn't know he was 5'5".
Yeah, like if
Oh, no,
I'm Dallas and I can bring in Leonard Fournette, I'm probably going to cut Ronald Jones. If I'm being honest,
9 times out of 10, yeah.
Fournette's
Yeah.
the better running back. Fournette's
Speaking
the
of
better
running
back of
backs,
the two.
It is.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
the Raiders signed Damian Williams, which is cool.
They
I
sure
like that.
did.
Yep. Smart.
I like that signing.
That's very smart.
Yeah.
That's probably the smartest thing these dumbass niggas done did all
Now-
season.
Ironically, we're talking about running backs and signings. Kareem Hunt's been on the move. He went to New Orleans, went to go visit New Orleans, went to Indianapolis, and
Mhm.
it makes more sense for him to go to Indianapolis than it does New Orleans because of all this uncertainty around Jonathan Taylor.
Well, same thing with
True.
But the same thing with the Saints because Kamara's suspended.
they have, but they're deep at running back.
Yeah.
They have 3
Who's the
running backs
backup?
still. They've got they signed John Williams.
Yep.
from the
They
Detroit
got
Lions.
Jamal Williams and
They signed.
Oh, okay.
and
Okay. I like
yeah.
Jamal Williams. So.
Oh,
I like
not
Jamal
McKinnon. Yeah, Jared McKinnon.
Oh, that's
No,
what you're
Latavius
making
Murray,
him.
sorry. No, my bad. Latavius Murray. My bad. Latavius Murray
They
is the other running
did.
back they have. Yeah, they have Latavius Murray. Like they're deep at running
Okay,
back. Like
so
there's not a lot of-
yeah.
Yeah, because you got to remember for the Colts, you know, Zach Moss has a broken shoulder, has a fucked up shoulder. Jonathan
Mhm.
Taylor's
Mhm.
out, so it's Deion Jones,
I mean, if
a
I'm
special
Kurt-
teams guy.
I mean, if
So
I'm
the-
Kareem Hunt, I go to Buffalo.
I don't know if Buffalo's deep at running back too.
Yep.
Everybody hurt though.
Not right now. They're not. James Cook and Damian Harris are both healthy.
Yep. Johnson. Well, I mean, the only person that's hurt
They
is
lost Naheem Hines, but Naheem Hines wasn't in the rotation as big as he could have
But
been.
but Kareem Hunt's better than both of those guys.
Well, Zach Moss is still this is on his second year in the league.
I would say it's from if I was Kareem, it would I don't know, because would you go to the Colts knowing that situation over there, knowing Kareem Hunt wants to be paid?
But he's not gonna. He can't.
He's not gonna get paid though.
He's not going to
Hunt-
get paid, but that's
Kareem
essentially the
Hunt
reason
He'll
doesn't
get
why
a
have
he
the
left.
command. He doesn't command the type of contract Jonathan Taylor does. He doesn't have
Yeah,
the
no,
production to
exactly.
match it.
But he
he's-
does.
Kareem Hunt's going to get a 1 year deal. He's going to get a 1 year deal.
Like he does, and that was the reason why I was reading the insiders as to why he left the Browns, because I'm like, why would you leave a perfect situation?
I wondered the same thing because him and Nick Chubb was a nice 1-2 punch.
Yeah, one of the greatest one-two punches in the league at the time. Like that,
He's trying to recapture his time in Kansas City.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, so if you're trying to quote unquote recapture the glory days, and I get it, you're still you still have some juice left, right? Like you can still be a top back in this league, but as far as being paid like one, I don't think you're going to get that contract anywhere, bro. So
He's got to prove he's going to be on the prove it deal first.
yeah, and to me, I'm just like, why would you leave Cleveland and try to go seek more money when you're most likely not going to get it? Like you're probably going to be on 1 year.
You didn't even give Cleveland a chance to pay you.
Right.
Like
you're not as valuable to other teams as you are to Cleveland.
Yeah, like I mean, Deshaun Watson's already taken multiple pay cuts on this contract.
And I think Cleveland gives you a bigger bag than what anybody else is going to give you.
100%.
And fuck around. I think Cleveland has a good chance of going to the Super Bowl.
Cleveland has a good chance to be a high-seeded playoff team too, and Kareem Hunt could have been a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Like if you want to make your money, you make your money with Cleveland.
I said the same thing. I said the same thing because,
So,
like I said, I didn't understand it. And then when I read in the insiders that he was really essentially looking for more money, I was like, okay, I get it, but I don't get it because nobody's going to give you that type of contract. So you should probably just
No,
stay where you're at.
right.
it'd be like
That's
that
what I would do.
sometime.
Stupidity. Speaking of stupidity, the NFL released their final top 10.
Yes, they did. I have it queued up and ready to go.
Let's look at the stupidity.
All right, starting at number 10, Chris Jones, Kansas City Chiefs. Number 9, Micah Parsons. Number 8, Josh Allen. Number 7, Tyreek Hill. Number 6, Joe Burrow. Number 5, Travis Kelce. Number 4, Nick Bosa. Number 3, Jalen Hurts. Number 2, Justin Jefferson. And number 1, Patrick Mahomes. That is your top 10 voted on by their peers. Let's make sure we understand that this is by their peers, not by the
Right.
insiders, not by news analysts, by their peers, the people that see these motherfuckers play.
Right.
So
But I did get a little insight into how this voting does happen, how it does work. I do realize that a lot of players don't vote, and so the
I wonder
numbers
why
could
that
be a
is.
little skewed. Could be, apparently from what I was witnessing and like listening to different players talk about it, when they give you the sheet to talk, it's like at the end of practice when everybody's trying to go home. So they're just half-assing it for the most part.
Mm.
And some of it is, oh well, I like that's my boy, so I'm gonna check him. That's my boy. I'm gonna check him. I don't really like him. I don't care how
So
good that
what you're
person
saying is
is.
there's not a lot of bias in this thing.
Yeah, they didn't really take this shit serious. So
So looking at this top 10, what's your biggest issue with this current top 10?
Niggas gotta stop drinking Bacardi before they vote on top 10 lists.
they do. I mean,
So
I don't
who's here that shouldn't be here?
And if you know Bacardi, you know Bacardi is not worth
in
no.
the top 10.
You're
Yeah,
an
like
alcohol
who
connoisseur.
in that top 10, who
No,
shouldn't be in the
Bacardi's
top 10?
make you nowhere near top 10.
Um,
And these
it was
whoever voted on this list.
okay. Okay, so you said it was Mahomes,
Oh,
Jetta,
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey,
Jalen Hurts is at 3.
Jalen Hurts was at 3, Kelsey, Jalen
All right,
Hurts.
do you want better? Wow. My screen is ready.
let's go ahead and get it up then.
Let's get the screen up there. All
Okay,
right.
okay,
There
let's
you go,
get it up. Let's
ladies and
get it up.
gentlemen.
There it is. Oh shoot. Oh, wait.
Okay.
There it is.
Um, okay. If you're asking Mel, um, I'm by like I said, and this is nothing against Tyreek Hill. I don't think Tyreek Hill is a top 10 player. Um, Chris Jones,
Absolutely.
great player. I do not believe he is a top 10 player. Micah Parsons, I do not believe is a top 10. Because if you go in top 10 and if you don't have a defensive player and you don't have Aaron Donald, that's crazy to me.
That's absolutely insane.
Remember, we did
Um,
this list last week. Aaron Donald's number 11.
right. I would not have Chris Jones or Micah Parsons ahead of Aaron Donald. If you want to
If
put
I'm
Aaron
being
Donald at 10,
if I'm being
cool.
honest, I can see the argument for Chris Jones being ahead of him.
Ahead of Aaron Donald?
Based on last season, yes, because Chris Jones was a game wrecker, like all the way through the playoffs, and made some key plays in the Super Bowl. Aaron Donald was killing on the island.
Well, that's
Like
because his team sucked.
I'm not going off of totality. I'm going strictly off of last season. And Chris
Yeah,
Jones
but
was a
Aaron
whole ass
Donald,
wrecker last year.
yeah, but Aaron Donald was playing with nobody, and everybody in the offense got hurt.
Why,
Not
I
his
mean,
fault.
why is that? Why is that Chris Jones' fault? Chris Jones did his job and more. Like, I have an
Yeah.
issue with Micah Parsons being in the top 10. I don't have an issue with Chris Jones being in the top 10. I could take Micah Parsons out and put Aaron Donald in, but I would give the slight nod still to Chris Jones over Aaron Donald for this particular list. Me personally. Just going off of
Okay,
last
and
season alone.
and I still believe Lamar Jackson is the top 10 player in the league.
Yeah, what we had him. Oh, he was way down there. He was in the 70s, wasn't he?
which is
Yeah, he was
crazy.
in the 70s.
Yeah, he was way down there when we looked at that list. Actually,
Somebody drinking lighter fluid.
Let's pull up the full list here. Pulling it up on another screen here.
That's
All right.
that's really. That's
Oh,
I
I
mean,
know.
is Nick Bosa the fourth best player in the NFL?
That's a tough sell. All right, here we go. Straight from NFL.com, people, so y'all understand what we got going on here. So we had Devontae Smith, of course, at 100. So we're looking for where we had. That's right. We're looking for our quarterback here, Lamar Jackson.
Like, even with the Nick Bosa situation, like I wouldn't have put him above Trent Williams.
I can see that. Marshawn Lattimore, Hopkins, Aiden Hutchinson, Justin Fields, Tunzel, Zadarius Smith, Armstead. I'm pretty sure Lamar was like 77 or something like that. I'm pretty sure he was in the 70s.
He was definitely in the 70s.
He was somewhere low as shit, and it didn't make sense. Yeah, 72.
72.
Down 36 spots from last year. That's what it was.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so let's go to where we need to go to, which is 20 through 11.
Okay,
So
let's see what
that's where we've got Myles Garrett, George Kittle, Minka Fitzpatrick, 18, Max Crosby, Stephon Diggs, Fred Warner, Trent Williams is 14.
That's crazy to me.
That's crazy to me.
Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs, 12 and 13, and Aaron Donald was here. Yeah, Aaron Donald was 11, so he's down 9 spots from last year. That was another pretty bad drop. But yeah, like the Trent Williams one is interesting. I could see Trent Williams also being in the top 10. Like,
I think he means so much to what he does for the 49ers.
Yeah. And I just think offensive linemen don't sometimes get the love and respect they should get.
Man, thank you, because they really don't, bro. Like I'm just
like with Jason,
that entire top 10 list is consisting of like skill guys, quarterbacks, and a couple defensive guys sprinkled in.
Exactly.
But like with Jason, where's Jason Kelce at?
I was just about to say, why is Jason Kelce not in the top 10? But I think Jason Kelce was like number 30. He was in the 30s, if I remember correctly.
And that's ridiculous to me.
I completely agree.
We got 3 or 4 top 5 of the top 5 best linemen in the league, bro, and they're not nowhere near the top 10.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah, this is a very interesting top 100 this particular year. Like I was kind of like, yeah, Jason Kelce, 37.
That's wild.
And they have Jalen Ramsey ahead of him, which I don't agree with. Not after last season. Not after last season. Hell no.
Especially not after last season.
Hell no. He dropped 27 spots, and there's no way he's in front of Jason Kelce, in my opinion. Not hell no.
And then
I don't think Christian McCaffrey should be ahead of Jason Kelce.
I don't think so either.
Like he put up his normal stat line. That was it. That's a normal Christian McCaffrey season to me.
But CeeDee Lamb is not better than Jason Kelce.
No, and see, I'm not. No.
Yeah, I don't like that at 34. Like I think Matthew Judon is too low. I think he should be higher. Judon should be at least top.
He should
20,
be in the 10. He should
20.
be in the He should be somewhere between the 10 and the 20s.
Because
11 and 20.
He had 15 and a half sacks for that New England defense last year. Only 3 players had more sacks than him last year. Come on now. Let's keep it a buck here. Like,
yeah,
and he's made every Pro Bowl ever since 2019. He's made every Pro Bowl. So
what number was Lane
last
Johnson
season alone? Lane Johnson?
Yeah.
Lane Johnson was. I think he was in the 30 to 21 range. Chubb, Dexter Lawrence, Jair Alexander, Derrick Henry, Eckler. Where is Lane Johnson? Garrett, Kittle, Fitzpatrick, Stephon, Trent Williams, Devontae, Josh Jacobs, Aaron Donald. So he might be a lot further back.
That's crazy.
He's further back.
That's insane.
We're gonna see if he in the 40 to 50 range here.
That's insane because the man hasn't allowed a sack or a QB hit in over 2 years, bro. Not to mention he played all of last year.
41.
Basically that's wild. He played damn near all of last year with a goddamn torn, not only with a torn abductor and a torn groin.
This man has earning the second highest pass blocking grade at 90.1 amongst tackles.
That's crazy.
Fifth in his position's highest offensive grade at 84.8, basically 85. Look at that. One of the most
And
dominant linemen in the game, but he's in the 40s.
He's in the
he's in the
40s.
40s.
That's
crazy.
insane to me.
Make that shit make sense.
He is
But-
one spot above Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
That is
and come on now.
insane to
That's
me.
yeah.
I
The level
would
of
never
insanity involved
understand
in
it.
that shit.
I
But
would
all
never
in
do
all,
it.
like I said, like there's some arguments to be made for the bottom. But what about the top of the top 10? What about the top 5? Any issues with the top 5?
Who was in the top 5?
Mahomes, Jefferson,
necessarily.
Hurts, Bosa, and Kelsey.
Is Justin Jefferson honestly the second best player in the league? No.
I'm gonna say no. But the
Nope.
problem with this is like most people would put a whole bunch of quarterbacks, and that would dilute this list.
No,
But
I would think offensive line. I think, like you said, we said it already. Offensive linemen don't get enough credit for the shit that
Mhm.
they do, and it's the offense. The 49er offense don't work without Trent Williams the way that it does.
No.
Like a lot of the stuff that the Philadelphia Eagles do is based off their center snapping the ball and pulling and
And
blocking.
people really don't understand the science in pulling.
They really don't.
To go
They
from
really do not.
a squatted position to exploding out to go catch a defensive player slipping to get your hands underneath his pads and drag his ass away from your offensive player and having a
Yeah,
phenomenal bucket step. Yeah, I said bucket step. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about and some of you don't.
And he does it on run plays as well as screens.
Oh, he is dangerous in the
ridiculous.
screen game. He is dangerous in the screen. He is knocking heads off in the screen game.
So to have him,
like
it's
I can
weird.
I
It's
can
crazy.
understand taking Justin Jefferson out. I'm cool with Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts being in there, especially with those two being the quarterbacks from the Super Bowl last year. I have zero problem with that.
Came from you just came from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I have zero
with that.
issue with that whatsoever. Like Justin Jefferson, I'm moving him down. I would move Kelsey up.
I'd move Kelsey up.
I would
I'm
definitely
okay
move
with that.
Kelsey up. He's at number 5, but the argument could be made that he could be number 3. Move Jalen to number 2.
Mm-hmm. That's what I would do.
Go Mahomes, Hurts, Kelsey,
and I would put Trent Williams.
Yeah, I would put Trent Williams. I'll go Nick Bosa, then I'll go Lane Johnson, then I'll go Travis Kelsey. I mean, then I'll go not Travis Kelsey. Sorry, I'll go. I'd probably go. There, I'd probably start looking at my defensive players, my Chris Joneses, my Aaron Donalds. Like, I just think this list needs a little bit more of a mix. The top 10 does.
Right.
Definitely.
It's very offensive.
So I'm not gonna lie. I just want more offensive lineman representation. Like I just feel like they don't get their due diligence, and they need to be.
Let's just say fuck it. Let's drop our own top 10s next week. And compare. Let's see the differences. Let's put our top 10s together. I'm curious to see how we do that. We can all put our top 10s together. We know what the top
based off of last season.
Yeah, based off of last season.
Yep, I'm with that.
Okay,
do that.
Let's see how we compare to the experts, aka the players.
Right.
I'm cool with that. I'm definitely down for that. Where we at now? You want to go through some of these preseason games for next week? For this week.
Yeah. Any predictions? Any score predictions for tonight's game and the games going forward?
See, it's hard. I don't want to do predictions yet because it's preseason.
I'm just gonna keep watching, observing.
Any notable people that you guys are gonna keep your eye on? Keep your eye out on for these games.
I want to keep an eye on the Ravens offense.
I want to watch Odell. I want to see if Odell plays.
Look offense looks. Like, I know the starters may not play a lot, but I still want to get an idea of what this Todd Monken offense is going to look like with this new direction. I'm curious about that. I'm actually very curious about that.
All right.
I want to see Mini-Me in Carolina.
Yeah, and I really want to get some solid film on Jordan Love. Like, I really want to see Jordan Love flourish. So, I know he's supposed to play in the preseason. I don't know how long he's going to play, but I still want to see it. To see,
I would play him. If I'm the Packers, honestly, he plays the first half of every game.
I would play him in the first half. Give him as many reps as you possibly can muster, and just let him get the timing down. Let him get the rhythm going. And playing in the whole first half, that ain't bad.
Nope. I think for me, I'm letting him rock out.
As of right now, he's 2-4 14 yards, 3.5 yards average. So we'll see as the game goes on. Any games specifically you guys are going to keep your eye on?
Nope, I'm just gonna be a fanboy this weekend. I'm just gonna be watching.
Yeah, this football time. This is
I don't even care. Football on TV. I'm just watching it.
This 4 days of football, so it's 4 days of
I'm just
football.
gonna
So
be
we
watching
rocking.
hard.
Don't college start this week too?
No.
Yes.
Or college next? Or is it college next week?
I thought that was next week.
It's next week. No, it's next. I think it's next week.
Yeah, it should be
next week. Okay.
Getting ready. Yeah, gearing up towards Labor Day weekend. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got to. Okay, so we'll figure it out. We got to we didn't do our top 25 teams. We got to go through what we think was going to happen. I got to talk about my Wolverines, man.
Yeah, we can kick it off next week. We can definitely kick it off next week. I'm interested in seeing how the Bears offense looks because I heard Justin Fields is going to play, so we'll see how that looks with
That's
the
good. He should.
offense. He definitely
needs to.
It definitely needs
He's
to.
gonna run the ball 13 times.
Look, Mel is an absolute hater.
It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry about it. My boy gonna make him a believer. It's good.
He got the Pee Wee offense. Quarterback draw. Sweep left. Sweep right.
Of course, the Raiders and Niners game because that's for shit talking purposes. But you guys get that.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see how Baby Bryce does. So I'm excited. We got football this weekend.
That's it, man. That's why we here. Number.
We got a lot. We got a lot of football.
Yep. Another football Friday. We have a lot of talk about next week. So a whole lot. Any last words before we roll up on out of the chair?
It's been another great football Friday. Appreciate you guys for tapping in today. Seeing a few guys in the chat, a few people in the chat, a few people in the box. So appreciate you guys today. It was great seeing my boys again. We had football yesterday. We got football coming up. So football season is back, which means the content's only going to get better from here. Like, follow, subscribe, comment, share it with your friends, share it on your Instagram stories, your Facebook stories, Twitter. On the new app, the Threads. I don't know if y'all know about the Threads, but share it on the new app, the Threads. Share it on your TikTok. Share it every goddamn where, because we're coming at you
wherever you got
all year with this football stuff.
And Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen.
Whatever you listen.
Wherever you listen.
Hey man, if you can't watch us live, you absolutely can listen on a long road trip.
Yeah, look, when you cleaning the house, just put us in the background.
This is what I do.
You gonna get a laugh out of us. But I will say this, very important. Stay tuned. 8:00 Central Standard Time tonight. You will see this bright shining face known as Mr. GQ going live, and I am going to solidify our Dynasty League live on screen. Get the divisions lined up, get the draft order lined up, set the draft day. It's coming 8:00 Central Standard Time. Make sure y'all tune into that, and that's gonna be fun.
Yep, we're gonna kill it, man. Yes, everybody in the chat, thanks for coming through. Everybody listening, thanks for listening. Don't make, if this is your first time, don't make it your last time. So come on through. Rock with us. People on the TikTok, like I said earlier, I am with the shits. So watch them out.
And don't be scared to pull up. We invite guests. We invite all the smoke. Don't be scared to pull up, bro. Y'all, a lot of people always want to talk shit about the podcast. And, your podcast must be good. Y'all can come find out anytime y'all ready.
And that's another thing. Like I said, we do this all the time. We tell you all the time. This is a formal invite. If you have a problem with our takes, you want to debate something that we said, this is an open door policy. All you got to do is drop your math inside the DM. We will call you. We will set it up whenever you're ready to go.
We got space for you.
That's what we do.
Got space
right there.
We told you. We deliver faster than Amazon Prime, man. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Way faster.
The smoke is always ready to be delivered.
Literally.
Y'all gonna stop going at my man OG Mail like that, man.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you see.
I'm gonna start coming out the shadows on y'all ass.
Yeah, because I don't know if y'all see. There's a specific user. His name is Moolah. He got the money bag, and his little profile picture is Saitama, and it says, "Okay, yeah, that's me, and I'm about all the smoke." So
don't let my picture with the nice suit with me sipping a nice drink fool you. Now I can take that jacket off real quick.
Yeah,
there's a reason why I picked One Punch Man as my profile picture.
There's a reason why Batman is my favorite hero.
Yeah. Well, I won't tell y'all why Wolverine is mine, but y'all should already know.
Because he want to blow Jean Grey back out.
No, it's that too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Highlights for the round of 32 already.
Yeah.
That being said, man, we appreciate y'all for tapping in.
Yeah. We are out of here.